The jury system, the only checks and balances to impunity. The only checks and balances that will engender confidence in the citizens on very serious matters like treason and murder. Jury system is dead. In fact, he has already been buried. Jury system has already been buried.
Honorable members, I am encouraging you when the leader speaks, please don't give undertones.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. It's already a done deal. But let us speak to Sierra Leoneans for posterity. That the death of that jury system is difficult for that dead man to resurrect. It may remain dead forever. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I also want to use this opportunity, having read paragraph 117 of the address, to congratulate His Excellency the President, to congratulate ourselves, to congratulate the 6th Parliament, and even by extension, the 5th Parliament, for members who were members of the 5th Parliament. You agree with me that for MCC, for award of MCC, this side has always been the powerhouse. We charge you on a daily basis, every presidential debate, every budget debate, we give the scores to put you on your toes, to improve on your weaknesses, to ensure that as Sierra Leoneans we get that compact. We benefit from it. We are now very close to the real benefits. So on that note, I want to congratulate all of us for a job well done. No sane person will oppose the award of the MCC to the tune of $480 million to our electricity distribution. So thank you very much, members of Parliament, from the 5th and by extension the present Parliament. I also want to congratulate all of us, including the government of Sierra Leone, for the gender bill. The gender bill, we all agree that there has been a step forward. We are yet to do more, and we promise to do more, especially when we are in charge.
Thank you.
For example, in charge, we'll increase it. But for now, we know there has been some increase, and that gender bill got the support of all of us. So congratulations to members of Parliament. Congratulations to His Excellency the President. I want to congratulate us also for the criminal libel that we repealed. Part 4 of the criminal libel that we repealed is another step in the right direction. Congratulations to all of us. Congratulations for the repeal of the death penalty. A great relief for all of us. In fact, you wouldn't know the importance of that repeal until you are on the downside of government. That's the time you know that indeed it makes sense to repeal a death penalty. So thank you very much, members of Parliament. Thank you, government of Sierra Leone. I also want to thank, having read paragraph 46, I want to use this opportunity to thank the government of Sierra Leone from 1960 to date. From 1960 to date on infant mortality rate. My research tells me that from 1960 to date, infant mortality has never distorted the going down syndrome. Let's say, for instance, in 1960, infant mortality of per every 1,000 births, let's say just for instance is 100 in 1960. for every 1,000 back. 1961, it goes down to 99. 1962, it goes down to 99 and a half. I mean, it goes down to 98 and a half. In that order, my research tells me that from 1960 to date, it has never been distorted. It has been going down, 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 and now we are about 68,000. I mean, 68 per every 1,000 back. 68.4, something like that, per every 1,000 back. So that is the trend. So I want to thank His Excellency and even past governments from Summit to Magai to date for maintaining that order. My only problem is, out of these 5 congratulatory messages, 2 are faced with serious threats. The number 1 is MCC. MCC is faced with very serious threats. And if we are not careful, we may lose it. We may lose it. And we cannot stand here and keep quiet and see this country losing that combat. We cannot. And in fact, we will not allow it. We will not allow it. Even if it causes us to make this house rancorous, we will not allow. As long as we ensure His Excellency the President succeeds in getting the real value of that MCC. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, for instance, infant mortality. Infant mortality, my research tells me, and the source, if you want to follow me, unfortunately, I don't know what has been gone wrong recently, just in the past 1 hour with my phone. I tried to print it out. I could not. My IT man could not. So I was determined to read it in my phone with your leave. But it has refused to open up. But I know the content. But the source is www.microtrends.net. www.microtrends.net. It tells me very clearly the threat against infant mortality relates to feeds alone, relates to hunger. According to this source, out of 127 countries being assessed for hunger globally, Sierra Leone stands at 117. We are 117. So in other words, we are amongst the 10 most hungriest countries in the world. We are among the 10 most hungriest countries in the world. And as a result, we stand, according to this, we stand the risk due to malnutrition as a result of unavailability or unaffordability of adequate food. We stand at the risk of child stunting, child mortality, and child wasting. Very high risk. So if we don't take our time, we don't want this thing, we don't want re-emergence. We don't want this the mathematical makeup from 1960 to date, we don't want it to turn around. We want it to continue to go down, down. By the time we take over, we will go to single digits. But by now it's 68, which is 2 digits. But by the time we take over, child mortality will definitely go to single digits and will finally go to 0. That's our wish, and we certainly work towards that. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I listened to my leader during his opening statement, of which he made a very sound and educative statement, opening statement. Of course, he did exactly what he's supposed to do as leader of government business. In his opening statement, I noted just one. There are many, but because of time, I will take just one. And his concern bordered on paragraph 3. Paragraph 3 of the presidential speech, of which he encouraged all of us. and by extension all Sierra Leoneans, that once elections are over, well, now it's time for governance. Let us put politics aside and go for governance. Let us put politics aside and go for development of this country. Once elections are over, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I agree with him 100% that when elections are over, the next thing is governance. Very simple. But the problem now is, how do you determine an election being over? I can simply liken it to someone who enters university. You enter university for 4 years, and then at final year you graduate. And once you graduate, you are given a certificate. But that certificate is always backed with your transcript. The transcript tells you how you managed to get your certificate. Some people get it from 1 certificate, some get it from 2, some get honors, but the transcript tells the difference. Why this one honors? Why this one division 1? Why this division 2? It is the justification for your certificate. So on that note, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I believe the best way to go to make this thing very easy is to give us this transcript of the certificate. Give us the transcript of the certificate. But in the words of the American ambassador, Brian Hunt, and I got him directly, he said neither the APC nor the SNPP or ECSL were able to give a disaggregated result. Nobody. So the question now is, it is whose constitutional mandate to give results? Is it your constitutional mandate as SNPP party? No. It is not your mandate. Is it your mandate as APC for me to give a result? No, it's not my mandate. So can we join together to ensure that is the SN, who is neither SNPP nor APC? Give up this transcript. We need to come together. SNPP, you cannot. APC, you cannot. So what the best we can do is to join hands to enforce and make sure this is the SN that is stand at the middle, who is neither SNPP or APC, to give us the first. In the absence of which, how can you consider an election over? At least for the truth to ourselves. The truth to ourselves, let us have it, and then it's over. That is all. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I said earlier, the MCC, there is threat to MCC. There is threat to MCC. We approved the implementation agreement right here. And the implementation agreement, having the press releases and also the Twitter releases of the American ambassador, they have said it repeatedly, that in order to benefit the real value from that compact, we need to work together. We need to agree. We need to follow the roadmap that has been given to us. The 84 recommendation roadmap that has been given to us, we must follow it. So can we work together? Can we work together to ensure that we work based on that roadmap that has been signed by both SNPP and APC government, signed by both of us? Since we signed it, then it is incumbent on us to follow. By extension, we are saying we agree to follow. We must agree to follow. We must join together to follow. Otherwise, unfortunately, we will lose. And that is not our plan. It is not our objective. It is not our wish. We don't want to lose it. So on that note, we need to follow the 84 recommendation roadmap. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, As I said earlier, on Feed Salon. Feed Salon is a good initiative. But my problem, sometimes I look back to Parliament. Sometimes president in, president out, they get very good initiatives. But most of the team members that they are solicited to help push the agenda for Feed Salon, agenda for prosperity, or whatever agenda for free quality education. Some of those individuals focus mainly on their personal gains. And as it is right now, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, you can follow my research. That Leone is one of the 10th hungriest countries in the whole world. Out of 127. We are only better than 10. We are 117. Better than only about 10 other countries. So as a result, we need to do much more. Not only on people writing. And one thing I like about SMPP, in fact, this is real. SMPP, you talk about write-ups. You talk about big English. You talk about big presentations. Called SMPP. That is their profession. Big time write-ups. Use of big English. Feed Salon, big write-ups, big English cannot Feed Salon. We need to understand the grassroots dynamics.
Mr. Speaker. Labor 3.
Yes, I want to know that the business of the house.
Any second that to that motion? Who is second in the motion? I see 3 people. I see 4 now. I see Faba, I see Amarakago, I see SK Momodu, I see Idris Kamal. I say so second, I take the honorable from the Western area.
My brother, get right.
All in favor of that motion, say aye. Those against it, the ayes have it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I said earlier, Feed Salon cannot succeed without the opposition. And you need not see us as your enemies. As long as you see us as your enemies, you don't see us as partners in development, Feed Salon will not succeed. You need to see us as partners in development. We need to join hands together. And this parliament to be specific. I'm happy for the present speakership that we have and the present leadership. We need to up our game in our oversight. We need to stand for integrity.
Yes.
And we need to make sure that this house is first of all okay. I always tell people, I say, if Salon Parliament is not happy, this country will not proceed, will not develop. Parliaments need to be happy. Once Parliament is happy, then oversight responsibilities will be done adequately. And for the past 1 year, I must confess that oversight committees were adequately catered for. It cannot be enough, but they were adequately catered for the past 1 year. Most committees officially went on oversight and officially tendered their reports, which are yet to be debated and actions taken upon. But for Feed Salon to succeed, they need parliament. And they don't need to call us. We have our constitutional mandate under Section 93. We need to participate fully. Because there is nothing to hide here that the hunger is prevalent. Hunger is very, very much prevalent in this country. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, another thing I like about SLPP is domestic revenue mobilization. Domestic revenue mobilization. That's why I asked the minister here that which one in his opinion is proper. And the government, the present government, has taken one step. That step is suicidal. It's suicidal. And he expects me to sit down, look at you, say, let us wait. Let them commit suicide. Once they are politically dead, we will take over. And then we wait. We don't advise you. We don't provide solutions. No, that is not our. That is not us. As far as we are concerned, whatever policies that you are about to undertake, that is suicidal, that is not good for the people we represent. Whether politics or no politics, we will not allow you. We will do our best. We will love our game. And that relates, when I read paragraph 105 to 108 of the speech, that relates to the present Finance Act. The present Finance Act under which this government operates. This act was passed by this House. In that Finance Act 2024 was passed by this House in 2023. And Section 3 of that Act makes provision for tax increments in rice. Tax increments on rice, iron rod, and zinc by 5% in 2024. And then the same provision, Section 3, makes further provision that graduatingly in 2035 it will go to 10%. You expect me, you expect this side, or the people expect MPs generally to support that one?
No.
You expect MPs from Gadao, you expect MPs from Bujau to support further increment of 10%?
No.
For us to go up to 1,500,000 in Bujau, you expect MPs from Bujau to support that? You expect MPs from Kenya to support that? You expect MPs from Kenya to support that? No, this is not that parliament. This is not that parliament. Go MPs, are you here?
No more.
The public expect for you to support that. It is zero. We cannot support it. And in your opening statement, sir, Mr. Leader, you said it so many times that our role here is to provide solution. We set the problems and give solution, not just problem. As a government in waiting, it's for two reasons. For two reasons. One, we are government in waiting. And two, we need to tell the public that once we come into governance, this is what we intend to do. And then the people will judge. But I believe on this issue, you don't even need to clap your hands to say 10% further increment on rice is unacceptable. So this is my proposal, sir. This is my proposal. Our proposal on this side. That thank God the finance bill is right within our purview. I have my own hard copy. I don't know if others have their copies. If you don't have, then maybe the speaker will make an announcement to that effect. But we have soft copies. I've seen the soft copies. The finance bill 2025, the soft copies. Yes.
That is anticipation. I've not seen it.
Well, I have seen the soft copy.
Okay, well, I tell you, still under ISO 39.
The soft copy is in our tablet.
I've not seen it.
It's in our tablet. The soft copy.
I've not seen it. I've not seen it.
It's
Really, I've not seen it. That's
well, it shows that some of us.
You're paying attention.
Mr. Leader, you want to say something?
Yeah, I beg.
It's there.
It's there.
The soft copy.
Yes. Let's see. Mr. Speaker, is here, Mr. Leader. It's good you have brought this one up. But I believe there is procedure we use for good documents. we have to get that through the office of the clerk, sign, receive, appreciate on the internal newspaper before it's uploaded. I'm the chairman of the business committee. I'm not aware of that. Even if you are aware of it, I think the leader in the house should have just taken another one with the clerk's office, because you know how we share it. You know how much is of search. Because they have not handed over the finance bill or the bill is not here. I don't know if we are getting that wrong. And Mr. Speaker, for your attention, who uploaded the finance bill on the desktop? Who uploaded it? We need to know. So, because we are not aware, I want to see it. Want to see if it's internal newspaper. I control, I ask for it, and I give authority when to distribute it. So I've not seen that. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker,
I
think that's the reason why we have been crying here. That since this sixth parliament started work, it's only the first 3 months that the business committee was functional. Only the first 3 months. After that, we have absolutely no hands in any business. I'm a member of the business committee. I'm never consulted on any other paper issue. Business committee have never been working, so I take it as normal. I receive this one just as normal as we used to receive other parliamentary documents. Because if the business committee was functional, then maybe I would have asked questions. But I received this one as normal, and it is in the tablet now.
Point of order. Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Before we went for the break, I distributed internal notice to every MP. I've done that on several occasions. So if you are yes, no, it's part of my job to inform you. If you go through the procedure of the business committee, to inform you that this is what we have, and we are going to research to prepare your mind. I also tell when we came, we circulated the document. The first thing we should do is to debate the presidential speech. I also tell when the president called us. I also to the chamber. And my deputy did call you for a meeting and went to committee room 1. You are jumping at the time. No, I'm coming. You are making an indictment that is not called for. And I've said I distributed this on record. If you have seen something in the machine, it's not my fault. I've asked you. Check. No. You said you have. They say you have not ever been informed about anything about the business committee. Of course. I have not challenged you that before we left, everybody distributed the internal newspaper to keep you abreast of what is going to come. The normal procedure for the debate is always a normal procedure for presidential debate. 5 or 10 days. So speak to the issues. Forget about the committee. Forget about the gallery. Let's speak to the issues, please. You are a leader. I beg you to speak to the issue. I don't want us back and forth.
Okay, I ignore that for now. I will not respond. I will take the cue, sir. But we all know for this Finance Act, it's because I raised the issue, Mr. Speaker was shocked. That's why we are on this thing. But I ignore that. You've spoken majorly. I take the cue, sir. I will not respond. I take the cue, sir. Thank you for your guidance. Okay, I'm still on the Finance Act. Not this issue now. Yes, Finance Act now 2024. The Finance Act 2024 will soon come before this Parliament. 2025 will soon come before this Parliament. Though one speaker has not seen it, I take it that Parliament has nothing. So it's not within our purview. Okay, I take it that way. But it will soon come before this Parliament. And it's coming for us to enact it. But what we intend to do here is this, in order to help government succeed. That's Section 3 in this new Finance Act now. In this new Finance Act that is yet to come. Once it comes, we will propose here during committee stage that Section 3 of the Finance Act 2024 be amended. Be amended with 2 options. First option is left to us to choose. First option, for that provision, the Section 3 to be deleted, to be repealed. That is first option. For Section 3 to be repealed. Case closed. Yeah, Okay, you were speaking with this one. Let me repeat what I said. Okay, let me repeat. Let me repeat. No, I didn't say.
So you are speaking.
I said you were speaking with this man. How can I say you are speaking? I cannot say you are sleeping. I said you were speaking.
That's what you say. The point is, I will still continue to hold you on SO 39 on that. It is not yet a subject before the House. Until it is before this House, accordingly, then you can make your proposal. But you cannot make a proposal that is not before us.
These are proposals. We have to vote on them. If you still
We cannot take
we don't even have them. Let's have explained to you that it cannot go through the challenge. If they are indicting the class office,
That's the more reason I would not want you to belabor the point.
I have talked to him that we have to get investigated. If it is here, they know how they are doing it. I am not a custodian of the system in front of us. What I am in charge of is the internal notice paper, which you have not provided with. So I'm begging you, ignore the issues. That is a bill. Go to the act. When Honorable Koroma raised the issue about non-bonuses, I referred to the Finance Act 2024. And it's there. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know if you can see where I'm coming from. We don't want ambush. We are not ambush MPs.
There is no ambush in it because as far as the matter is concerned, the matter is not before us.
That is not before us.
What we have ratified, if for any reason a member wishes to suggest for a repeal or an amendment of the provision, we should have to wait until a new bill is before us relating to finances, and that suggestion can be raised.
Okay, I will speak to 2024.
Accordingly, the debate can be taken and the motion or the bill can be put into a vote.
Okay, I will speak to 2024.
Very well, sir.
2024 that is before us and soon to expire. Section 3 of that 2024 is unacceptable.
Honorable member, let me
2024.
Honorable leader, let me also say this. Because they are introducing the 2025 finance bill, doesn't mean that the 2024 bill is expired.
No, I say it will soon expire.
Well, it will not expire.
Okay, sorry. I withdraw that statement.
Very well.
I withdraw. No. I withdraw that statement. Section 3 of 2024 finance bill is unacceptable. And it talks about 5% increase, 5% increment of tax on rice, imported rice, in 2024, and 10% increase on the same imported rice in 2025. And we are saying the implication of that one will make our people, they cannot even live. The best way to go is to lie down and die. Because they cannot afford. The people of Kaidan, they cannot afford. The people of Kujaw, they cannot afford. More people, they cannot afford. Not to talk of Karadugu or Faraba, we cannot. So we need to prepare our minds that whenever we have the opportunity, under section 105 of the Constitution, we can change it. And we intend to bring that proposal whenever we have the opportunity, under section 105. We propose for an amendment of section 3 to either repeal it or we repeal the provision for 2025. It remains 5%. That's the two options whenever we have the opportunity. And that is one way we think we can help this government to succeed. We cannot sit down, say let us wait until they become more unpopular, and then we will reap from their unpopularity. That is bad politics. And we cannot be a party to that. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, fight against corruption. Paragraph 121. Much has been said about the fight against corruption. So my question here is, in corruption, perception of Sierra Leone, we have two matrices. The first one is fight against corruption. The second matrix is prevalence of corruption. There is a fight against corruption and then there's prevalence of corruption. And then we need to study both, especially based on international best practice. What has been our grading so far in the fight against corruption and in the actual prevalence of corruption? Mr. Speaker, honorable members, based on our international corruption index, the corruption index for Sierra Leone, the fight against corruption under this administration, we've so far got the highest score of 79, highest ever. We've never scored that mark as a way of thumbs up for us in the fight against corruption. It is the highest. But that one speaks to fight against corruption. Now let us go to our score in respect of prevalence of corruption. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, if you don't mind, I can give you a copy of this. If you don't mind, I can give you a copy of this, which has the source. But with your leave, I will read just an extract of this presentation. It says, this corruption in Sierra Leone. It says, corruption is endemic in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is widely considered to be one of the most politically and economically corrupt nations in the world. And international rankings reflect this. Transparency International's 2023 Corruption Perception Index scores Sierra Leone at 35% out of 100%. A big fail mark. 35%. No, you are not listening. You were not listening. I said we have to fight against corruption.
I have said that the leaders should speak in decorum.
Thank you, sir.
I limit the undertones to members, but when the leaders are speaking, we want to hear them. If they are asking for points of order against each other, I will accommodate it. But I don't expect a member to interject or to give undertone.
Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, as I said earlier, our score is 35% out of 100. And on a scale of 100, a scale of 0, highly corrupt, to a scale of 100, that is very clean. When ranked by score, Sierra Leone ranked 108 out of 108. We ranked 100 in 2023. Sierra Leone ranked 108 out of 180 in terms of prevalence of corruption. For fight against corruption, I gave kudos to Anti-Corruption Commissioner, because I believe he has put a lot of systems and processes in place that the international partners use as yardstick in what the effort we have done so far to fight corruption. I give him thumbs up. But the corruption is fighting. The prevalence of that particular corruption, our ranking is 108 out of 180. Is that anything to be proud of? As a Sierra Leonean, is that anything to be proud of? 108 out of 180. We are better than only about 72 people, 72 countries. Better than only about 72 countries. The rest, they are all better than us. Very corrupt. And one of the essence of fighting against corruption is to minimize poverty, if not to eradicate. Is to minimize poverty. But I have another presentation here, based on my research. I will give you all, Mr. Speaker, for your perusal. It says Sierra Leone is the second poorest country in the world, according to IMF. As we speak right now, Sierra Leone is second poorest. We are better than only Burundi. Only Burundi. The rest in the whole world, they are all better than us in terms of poverty. We are the second most poorest in the world. That is the outcome, one of the outcomes of prevalence of corruption. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, one will ask, then what is wrong in between? The fight against corruption, they are doing very well. But corruption actually is endemic. It's endemic in our system. So in between the fight and the prevalence, what is wrong? What is wrong? To me, I question the independence of accountability bodies. I question their independence. That may be a key factor to why corruption is still endemic, even if the anti-corruption commissioner is doing all his best to fight against corruption. But because of lack of independence, corruption is still endemic. There are certain areas he cannot go. There are certain areas he cannot probe. There are certain areas he cannot ask questions. We are not strange. We are all Sardinians here. You know what I'm saying. So by way of solution, what we are proposing, number one, accountability bodies, such as Anti-Corruption Commission, Audit Service, Human Rights Commission, Judiciary, security of tenure, they should be removed only if they are incapacitated or they resign or they die. But the issue of gross misconduct should be expunged completely from our law books for accountability bodies. Accountability bodies whose appointments are being done by His Excellency the President, subject to the approval of Parliament, and they are not expected to be politicians after approval. Their removal should not be based on gross misconduct. Well, the interpretation of gross misconduct lies in the hands of the one in charge of power. Removal should be limited only to death, incapacity, or resign. Apart from that, anything like gross misconduct should be expunged. Because it is now this is happening across government. Anti-Corruption Commission has never been independent because of that phrase, gross misconduct. Gross misconduct, who determines gross misconduct? We say the court. But the court, we all know, even the judiciary, they are not independent. We've seen someone like Chief Justice being sent on compulsory leave. It has happened so many across. Chief Justice being sent before end of his term. Sent on compulsory leave. Anti-Corruption Commissioners being sent on compulsory leave before the end of their term. It happens right across, not just one government. As far as we are concerned, that is not correct. Thank God the constitutional review may soon meet us. I'm not sure, but I'm certain to doubt. But I believe maybe it will come. So by the time we come, we need to address that issue.
Honourable member, I want to firstly remind you that you have 5 more minutes. That is one. And secondly, I want to say, should we want to address the issue of tenure and security of tenure, we should work on collecting the look at Section 70 and we tie it to
of the 1991
Constitution. So we tie the powers of appointment of people in tenure of office to the time limit of the presidency as at the time of appointment. I think that's the best way to solve it.
Yeah, that's one way to solve the problem. Otherwise, if there's provision for gross misconduct for you to be removed, the person is human. It's human. And the one in power can tell you what is gross misconduct, and then you go. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, within my 5 minutes, blue economy. I will not comment much on this. All I will do is to use you as my witness, because you were present when the ambassador from Iceland addressed the office of the Speaker and the Parliamentary Service Commission. They told us the potentials we have in our marine industry. Our marine resources has the potential to give us $800 million annually $800 million, according to the government of Iceland, the ambassador of Iceland. It can give us 800 million annually. And what we are benefiting now, maximum, is $20 million from our marine resources. $20 million. Only $20 million. When we have the potential of $800 million. So where did we go wrong? And unfortunately, the only surveillance machine that is being used for surveillance, it costs $20,000 for a single surveillance. $20,000 to go on the high seas, or let us say our own territorial waters, the 12 nautical miles. It spends $20,000 each trip. And unfortunately, they can't confess to us. It's unfortunately, at any time we go for surveillance, we meet no illegal fishing, nothing. You know what happens? By the time you prepare to leave, the people will receive call. Say the eyes onto them, they can't move. So now they take cover. Then they can't move. So by the time the surveillance machine reaches there, all those illegal fishermen, they are not longer there. They have gone to the ISIS, and you cannot meet them at the ISIS because the law does not permit you. As long as they are not within the territorial waters, you can do nothing. By the time they return, they will come again. So the government of Iceland, through the ambassador, told us clearly that they have a system wherein you can sit here and surveillance our entire territorial waters from Bontom to Cambia. So Mr. Speaker suggested that day, of which he got our support. And I'm putting it to all of you that we need to work towards this thing. Why can't we give that job to the government of Iceland to operate our high seas for us, to protect our fish industry, and then they give us $250 million annually. And then the rest of their proceeds will be theirs. That's the suggestion. That we allow Iceland to surveillance our territorial waters and then get the fish and give government $250 million annually. And then the rest is their own proceed. Instead of we sit to ourselves and then we get only $20 million. Can you compare $20 million to $250 million? So, honorable members, how do you see that suggestion? It's for your own, it's for you to digest. You may not answer me now. But that's the suggestion by the Honorable Speaker, and I believe it's a good suggestion. Mr. Speaker, Honorable members, the Employment Act, the Labour Minister was here, and I intended to put this before him, that there's an issue of one of the Chinese mining companies. I don't know if Kimu or Sandra, I don't know which one is first, but the first one, there was an employee called Mr. Yanka. That Mr. Yanka was a crane operator in paragraph 57. That man was a crane operator. He was operating the crane. I know for a crane to operate, you have to ignore the tires and use the hydraulic lifts, the 4 lifts that use hydraulic to go up before the crane can operate. What happens? During that operation, the hydraulic failed, and then the crane came down and rested upon his legs and crossed it. Both legs were crossed. He was taken to hospital. Mr. Speaker, it will interest you to know that up to date, nothing absolutely has been done for that poor guy. Nothing. I've informed the chairman of Labour before the recess. I informed her. And she was so furious. But I thought it fit to bring this to your notice as well. That man has his legs crossed now. Absolutely nothing has been done to save him. Nothing has been done to compensate him. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, he needs our intervention. In summary of our suggestions to help government succeed.
That is in 1 minute.
In 1 minute. In summary, number 1, removal of the general should be a no-go area. It's an accountability body. It will instill confidence in the people of Sierra Leone for accountability and even the international partners. It should be a no-go area. Number 2, Finance Act 2024, Section 3 should be amended
I think you should.
Number 3.
I think you should call it a go vote area. But it's a matter that is subject to voting in the House, and I'm sure it will come on the other paper someday.
Yes, but when I said a no-go area, I agree with you. It's a go vote area.
It's a go vote area.
But the Constitution makes provision for President to have anything. And say, well, I have anything. As far as I'm concerned, let the people win instead of me. Let the people win.
Well, on that subject, because I'm going to present that subject to the House, let me make my peace.
Yeah, you will do that later.
Yeah, that will be for
another
discussion.
So that's a very good advice for this government to succeed. Let it be a no-go area. The Section 3 of the Finance Act, increasing tax on rice should be expunged. Or at least worst case scenario, we maintain the 5%. But going to 10% should be a no-go area. This is for parliament. Don't subject your people of Kairam, Pujamu, Moyamba to cost of rice going up to 1,500,000. They will not be happy with you. And processing will judge you. Thirdly, we need to honor. Third and final. Yeah, Mr. Speaker, please. Just
how many recommendations do you have?
Just two more. Just to name them.
Okay.
Just to name them.
Okay.
We need to honor MCC.
I think that.
To get MCC, we need to honor the agreement of which both of us signed. Okay? Then, second to last, is the Minister of Lands. That man is one of my best. He presented his land commission bill here. And even the province's lands, In that presentation, he gave a matrix of use of our land, agricultural land, for just oil palm. He said in just less than 5 years, oil palm alone can pay the entire wage bill if we take it seriously. Let us further consult him. He has something in his head that can help to support agriculture in terms of oil palm industry. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we need to support the Labour Ministry. The Labour Ministry is going down the drain, and it's the blood vessel of the job market and job creation in this country. But if our job market is going to foreigners and then our own people, it's not being catered for. I think that's very bad. It is premature, and I will not comment on that anyway, because I've gone through some of this 2025, which is very commendable in terms of job markets. 2025 finance act, but for now it's premature. So on that note, I want to thank you very much and thank His Excellency the President for this wonderful speech, and I hope they will follow and listen to our guide, our advice. We are partners in development. We are not enemies. God bless.
I want to thank the Honorable Deputy Chairman and Acting Leader of Opposition of the All People's Congress. This is the parliamentary format. Having said everything, he ended up by thanking His Excellency the President for his speech that is so graciously delivered to this House. Thank you very much. I now give the floor to the Leader of Government Business to round up. I see people are so apprehensive. I've been assured fully by the crocodile that it doesn't need 45 minutes, but I'll give it 45 minutes nonetheless.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, all my colleagues, for your numerous contributions. For me, everything you have done is positive to changing the dynamics of our country in a positive trajectory. I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker, for presiding us, sitting with us for a very long time. Some presentations are very interesting to hear. Some are very lucrative to take home and have fun over it. Some are very thoughtful. And we try to make some corrections where necessary by making references to documents. I still stand on section 42, section 84, subsection 3, in tandem with section 47 of the Constitution, for what President did in August to address the nation in this chamber. That's why when I started, I said, thank you, Mr. President. That is your job, bringing us to speed so that we can understand what is happening in the nation. We continue in that direction to listen to those who positively are with us and those by national contribution, positively or otherwise, try to be very critical of the government, which we are all part of. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, having said that, using the constitutional provisions, our audacity of hope, our aspirations. A man who stood times a difficult moment. And I said, not at the time when you listen to Martin Luther King, a statement he uttered in this very chamber in 2022. He said, the ultimate measure of a man, where he stands, not the moment he stands at the time of challenge, at the comfort of that. But where he stands at the moment of challenge, he knows very well that when times are comfortable, you don't rush to make decisions. But when times are hard, you take a platform to make critical decisions. Mr. Speaker, I want to draw your attention, as I said, it's our audacity of hope, paragraph 4. That he said, we have to make sure the dreams of our citizens, and President Bill is calling on us to that. A father of democracy, a man at a very critical moment in our lives, said, I prefer the nation than my friends who are around me in the NPRC. And he said, let me call for elections, let me consult the people and make sure we have a positive turnover in our country. That is the democracy we are enjoying today. With all under difficulties, we are here today as members of parliament because of that decision we took at that moment. We have our government from opposition to ruling, from ruling to opposition. So at this time, we should be very critical and very sensitive in things that we say. Or how do we engage our people in terms of promoting the nation building? So he talked about unity. And it challenged us that Parliament itself is the embodiment of stability and unity of our country. So, in tandem with section 100, paragraph 183, Mr. Speaker, to affirm the President's commitment and to make sure that he abreast citizens of their responsibilities. And he himself, as President, is fully aware of the difficult times we are. That's why he said, this is a time to make decisions in terms of our agricultural diversity, our economy, and the welfare of our people. Paragraph 83, as we move forward, let us be guided by the wisdom of our ancestors and the hopes of future generations. Let us lead with integrity, Mr. Speaker. Let us lead with integrity. Act with compassion and govern with resolute belief that our best days are yet to come. That is the visionary statement. A futuristic leader, the Lord believes that we should come together to address the needs of the society, to address the needs of our people. That's why when I started my debate, I said I've been looking for, when he criticizes us, give us solutions. He has talked about things that we need to do. Mr. Speaker, we started talking about things since the Sam Mitmagai's time, trying to solve the problems. But what is different from them without a President Bio? President Bio is a very sincere and forthright man. As I move along, I will make pointers. And today, the actions that he's taking speak for itself. Let me make some quick reactions to my colleague on the other side. He said, we need to come together. I have read his speech, turn it over, to understand, because the philosophy of the future is in this speech. That you need to understand what he's looking for. In paragraph 7, he called us together to work, making Parliament, making this very Parliament as a force to reckon with respect and modesty. The Parliament is a force to reckon with in nation building. So he called on us, and let me read this paragraph 7, Mr. Speaker. So I tell my colleague that the President has called on all of us. Let us work together We cannot solve the problems we alone in the SLPP. In fact, we said one country, one people. We believe we are all the same. And our similarities are far greater than our differences. We are not afraid of the challenges that lies ahead. But because we believe in patriotism and we believe in the policy that we drive, that is why we are on record for bringing peace to this country. For making sure that we sacrifice what we could to make sure that there is peace in Sierra Leone. Thank you. Thank you, the people of Sierra Leone. Thank you, the civil society organizations that helped us to have peace. Thank you, his blessed memory, President Abeti Yankaba. He is so rest in perfect peace. We can never forget him in a worry. That is a very reason we should be careful. And I make reference on paragraph 14. Let me read paragraph 7 before I move to paragraph 14. He said, I commend the leadership of Parliament, the leaders of political parties and representatives of paramount chiefs for their dedication to conducting the affairs of the legislature, Mr. Speaker, with mutual respect and the shared vision. Together, we can work towards a brighter, more peaceful and prosperous future for Sierra Leone. It is a broad statement. He is saying all aspects of life we are working. We need to work together because there is future for us. And he commended us for what we have been as Parliament. We have changed this country by legislations we have done. It's a progressive Parliament. Thank you, Mr. President. He mentioned so many things giving respect to Parliament. We are forced to reckon with the beacon of hope and the President's audacity of hope, as is mentioned in paragraph 4. Paragraph 14. But he mentioned before paragraph 14, he said, great anger and violence can never unite a nation. Then paragraph 11. But Mr. Speaker, I have seen real people are pampering insurrection coups and supporting coups going against the spirit of democracy. Even when they are elected in offices, when they are appointed working under this administration. Those who took on to serve this nation, President Leone said, let me say thanks to the security forces in paragraph 14, commending them for the good work that they are doing, the insurrections, the coups. Mr. Speaker, we are not aware. We know what is happening. We know very well what is happening. Bad politicians, selfish politicians. President Leone sacrificed his life as an ex-military man. Laid down his life in his teenage age, in his early ages in life. He went and fought from Liberia to Sierra Leone. When they are at the war front, things were not good for them. They said, we'll change the trajectory of this country. They came and they ushered in democracy. The constitution we are talking about today was written by the then APC administration. He accepted it. People wanted for President Leone to transform himself into a civilian and contest the elections. He said, I'm not going to contest. Our promise to our people said, we come and do changes and bring show and usher in democracy. That is President Leone. So that said, let me use the words of the former Speaker of Parliament and the former majority leader of the APC. Mr. Speaker, let me tell you this. Why we should work together. He said in paragraph 7. And why we should protect our democracy. The consequences of war, bad governance. Read the TLC report. Are we living in a worry? Are we so fooling ourselves because we belong to different shades of relationship? Or are we not coming from the same area? We need not to support President Leone. No. We have only one constitution. Speak to 3 things. Unity, freedom, and justice. Let us fix our systems. Grievances should be solved using democratic institutions. You should not resolve your differences by using violence. That's why he said, great anger and violence can never unite a nation. And he said we should not encourage. That's why he praised the security forces, using paragraph 14, and extended in respect as a beacon of hope this Parliament. Let me now turn to my colleague to make some clarifications. President Leone was part of the Bintumani, this agreement they are talking about, the tripartite. I was there. I recused myself because President he has to join me one day. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in this same chamber, in referencing paragraph 7 of this presidential speech. We took 3 months, 3 good months, Mr. Speaker, to enhance the Public Election Act 2022. 3 good months. Debate in heat. We had innuendos and aspersions against us. They gave our numbers to unpatriotic and uncivilized Sudanese, calling us, bastardizing us, because we are doing our own responsibility as Sudanese, our state responsibility to enact laws. We took 3 months. I presented the story, the reforms, for 3 good hours in this chamber. Mr. Speaker, this document, this is the Public Election Act 2022. Let me tell my colleague on the other side. There is a provision in section 143, section 142, section 146, courts and petitions. If you think you agree with election after 21 days of gazetting, go to the court. President Bio won the election 2012 by his own calculations. Mr. Speaker, let me use my words. This is my words. By President Bio's calculation and SFPP, we won 2012 elections. But the result was announced by the then Chief Electoral Commissioner. We did not win. And he went to court. He went to court. The time we had. Thank you. Thank you.
Discouraging of other tones is not only on the other side, but even on this side. You applaud the leader, but don't disrupt the leader.
Thank you. Colleagues, I was with President Bio. At the moment he was an opposition leader. He said, I don't trust the court, but I go to the court. I usher in democracy. I fought for it. I led my life. My colleagues died for it. He went to court. A court that they used to mock President Bio. A court that he knew very well removed the vice president without the use of a proper procedure. And this parliament sat down. They did nothing about it.
Sorry, leader, on that I am good that
thank you.
We would have to accommodate that decision because it's a Supreme Court decision.
No, thank you. Thank you, sir. Let me go back. When the results came out, when the ruling came out from the Supreme Court, on flimsy excuses that we did not file on time, they forgot the merit, the spirit of the case, the rule against us. Statement from my leader said, I don't trust the court, but I respect the ruling of the court. We should use democratic institutions to address our grievances. You don't take people to do an insurrection, break Panemba Road, demolish it, remove prisoners that have been convicted, supporting coups covertly. Mr. Speaker, this same wonderful tripartite they are talking about, we don't want to discourage. In the interest of national cohesion, President Dio said, I will bend backwards, go and discuss with our moral guarantors so that we can have the peace that reign. You know why he did that? The TRC Volume 1 and 2, because he fought the war. He knows the danger behind. When you refuse to listen to people, he said, they might not be right what they are doing. But as a leader, as someone who have fought for this country, my relatives are killed in Timu because they said I'm the leader. Those sacrifices I made to usher in democracy, selflessly, let them go and discuss about money. But we don't force of law. Because when you agree with elections, you go to court. They did not petition the elections. They refused to go to court. They are telling us to listen much to tripartite. We can negotiate, we can talk, so that we can move on. We are shaping the scape of our democracy, but we cannot abuse and bastardize democratic institutions. We are going to respect them or work with them. Whether you believe in them or not, work with them. This one, 3 months. And he talked about, this is what I've heard, that is discouraging me every other moment. And I made a correction when we had a discussion and Bintumani. What do you mean by this aggregated result, my leader? There is nothing in our elections books, no text, talking about this aggregated result. In fact, it is not an electoral language. It is a manufactured word to skew in the favor of people. But the appropriate jargon we should use to describe that situation, it is in this document, Mr. Speaker. Section 92 of the Constitution, police station results, Police results are computed direct from police stations where you have the party agent. Those ones are.
Sorry,
Thank you, sir.
for the records, it's 92 of the. I'm sure he wants to refer to the act that he's showing you.
No, yeah, the Public Elections Act 92 of the Public Elections Act. Thank you very much. When sometimes you are taking your time to make sure you have the right document so that people can work with it, and you just want to erode them because it's not in your interest. 444 police stations, 477 from Kailan. I know they know that. You manage it. You know why we manage that situation? They let Solomon Ekuma Berewa.
Is it the Garagi or the?
Let Solomon Ekuma Berewa. He was at the Lomi Peace Accord. He was a moral guarantor who President Kaba said, the late President Kaba said, let me accept the ruling of the Electoral Commissioner. But there is no law gives her the right to invalidate 477 police stations. I'm going to accept it. In the interest of peace to reign and the moral character of peace in this country. You think we are stupid? We are not stupid. Mr. Speaker, the reason why I'm referring to this document, we should respect the document. When she had the power to validate results, he told us to go to police. Yes. When she had the right to invalidate, she said go police. Mr. Speaker, la lucha continua. This is a struggle. We, SFPP, one thing I know of, fight for the honorary man and woman. And that is the slogan President Leone took to governance. Change the narrative. 92, let me read, so we cannot use it again. We can make those corrections to big funds of the APC when we met, and they are still using it, disaggregated. There is nothing like disaggregated, Mr. Speaker. Let me read, 92. District returning officer shall, a mandatory clause, upon receipt of the statement of result of pool from all polling stations located in the district, compile a summary of all statements of the results from the polling stations, concern and certify as many copies as may be required of each summary of the regional returning officer. Mr. Speaker, I'm not going to continue. Let's stop abuse putting words into the electoral system, bringing confusion, bringing violence, inciting our constituents, our supporters. We are bigger than that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the floor. Mr. Speaker, sorry, I have said I am using the appropriate electoral jargon. Polling station results. The reason why you should refer to polling stations results because you are computing them at the site of the party agent. You are computing at the site of the party agent, taking it to the district officer, compiling for the regional returning officer. Use your appropriate jargon. The recent data is showing that most conflicts are initiated from elections. So we should be very careful. How do we handle our election system? The jargons that we use. Mr. Speaker, let me proceed. We are talking about agriculture. You see, in the issue of agriculture, we are so mindful. Last year, paragraph 25, the president called on us. He said, last year, I called on you. Let us invest in agriculture. Let us invest in agriculture. To mitigate price volatility, resilience towards external shocks, and self-sufficiency, and food sufficiency, and food security. If you think those are the words, the words that you use in paragraph 25. Mr. Speaker, because it's very consistent, if you go to paragraph 26, he made mention of systematic approach towards the agricultural sector. Mr. Speaker, if I take you to paragraph 26, which I'm going to deliberately read, I called on my colleagues the last time that we should not politicize this issue of agriculture or try to water it down. President Leone started talking about the food security since 1996. Comes and former President Koroma. He built the APCs, gave tractors to his own supporters, district officers, the misused other stakeholders. We all analyze it, and you have the records, the APC center, you have the audit reports. Come President Leone, I'm happy they said we are now saying paragraph 27 and paragraph 30 involving the private sector into our agricultural system. Involving the private sector into our agricultural system. We have reposed more confidence in the in donors so that they can support us in most of our drives. The million-term drive plan that we have put in place so that we can succeed as a government. We need to record with that. In paragraph 26, we need to pay attention to that. He said increase investment in agriculture sector and has the power to create jobs, reduce dependency on essential food import, boost export earnings from cash crops, and analyze sustained economic growth. This investment is safeguard for national security and a vision for a prosperous nation. Boom, Mr. Speaker. In line with that, he went further. The adage, he used the adage, a hungry man is an angry man. Mr. President is not saying, let us put food on your table. He is leaving us an example. Mr. Speaker, let us look at the video we are seeing now. That is why it was on the news. It was on the news 2 days ago. The 150 million, the 105 million grant given to us to support us in agriculture. Mr. Speaker, also using the sector, the farmers approach base to support us. And Mr. President also signed an agreement with the Ethiopian Prime Minister to support us in the business of agriculture. We have full donors' confidence in us because of our strong fiscal policies, because of our commitment, just as we did for education. Just as we did for education. This nation will realize the minuses we are having, realize the difficulties we are going through. President Leone said, he called on us in this very chamber, let us be farmers, let us do farming, so we can curb the difficulty of feeding ourselves. We can create jobs. This is what we are. This is just part of what we have been doing. I asked for this step to be played so that when you see, you believe in what you are seeing, not by words, not by human. But these are a testament of the truth. These are what we are doing to help the people. These are people in Kafubulon. These people are in Kafubulon. We have just got 105 million grant. Grant is free. You know very well. Mr. Speaker, why are we shying away from the truth? President Ahmed Kabale, of blessed memory, did not solve the issue of food security. He introduced it. And then by Koroma, former president, did not achieve what he was aspiring for. He did not fail. He tried, but he did not succeed. President Leone, who gave power to the late Abeti Dankaba, the man with the hand sight, said, at this time, I will lead by example. I am not asking you that I'm going to put food on the table. I'm asking you to come and farm so that we can get jobs for our young people, so that we can open the space to support our private sector in this agricultural business. Labor and you expect. That was an expectative. Labor and you expect. Mr. Speaker, but let me refer you, Mr. Speaker, to paragraph 115. When you are serious, your partners will take you seriously. But when you behave like a criminal, so they take you as a criminal. President Leone has put more energy, trust, and confidence in sincerity of purpose in feeding our people, fighting the case that a hungry man is an angry man. We are so thirsty that we need more food. We need to feed ourselves so we can curb this issue of food sufficiency. We cannot produce our own staple food. It's a recipe for cures. He said it in our particular speech. Do we need to politicize it? No. But I'm not going to draw comparison between President Leone for food security with that of former President Koroma. I will not, because I will fail. Oh, yes. We measure our successes with people who have succeeded in sectors, not those who have failed. But Mr. Speaker, let me read for the edification of the public. 115. Paragraph 115. I said this earlier. 115. I said it before.
Order, please.
I am pleased to report that our partners responded positively, pledging $800 million to support our aspiration for energy and food security by 2030. It's a process. Somebody said yesterday, I listened to my mother over there from Tikonko 2 days ago. She said it is a process. And I quoted paragraph 25 that let us come together, let us move, fight for food insufficiency. It is a resilience towards food security. It is in paragraph 25. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, using this one, it is a journey. Because when you look at our development plan, based on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, Agenda 2020.
Hold on, leader, the Honorable SK and the Honorable Abubakar.
Well, in my opening statement, I did talk about the 2030 using the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. That 2030, that's doing based on our plan, our development plans, and also the African Union agenda, also talking about the same sustainable development, talking about Agenda 2063. So what we have done is to make sure that we have the confidence between we and the donors. So what he said for our aspiration for energy and food security by 2030, the pledges include: 1, the OPEC fund $250 million, 2, Badia $250 million, IFAD $90 million, 4, Africa $130 million, and the 5th, the Qatar Fund for Development $8 million. These are all progress that we have made. Are we not proud of ourselves? Do we need to politicize this? We need to convince, work as a nation. Look at paragraph 7 and talk to President Liu. We are with you in this business. We want to succeed as a team. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, sometimes, even when he said, Mr. Speaker, the issue we are having, he has been very honest. If you look at paragraph 17 of our program in terms of development, he said, even the best nations in the world, you can have the best plans, but we are living in a globalized world. There are unpredictability, like the COVID we had, the war we are facing in Ukraine and Russia, the Middle East crisis. We are a light manufacturing country. We are not as productive as the West, the Americans, the Europe. We should take into cognizance the variables affecting us. That is the globalized effect. So in paragraph 17, he said, in as much as we are moving forward, these plans are laid down on paper, but we should take into cognizance the parameters that are going to accelerate it. If they are faulty, we should be ready for the unpredictability. That is what we should do. That is what a leader should do. So let us come together and work as a team. Forget about the SNPP, the APC. This is a nation we want to build for the future of our young generation. Mr. Speaker, anytime I talk about the economy, I get some offensive things coming around. You know why? In 2007, I was over there, right at the back. I can understand.
I'm sorry, leader, let me stop your time. You said you are over there and you are sitting at the back. The more reason I will encourage members to continue to sit at the back. Because from what I have learned in this parliament, all those that have had the opportunity of coming in front came from the back. Yes.
You are making to go and fight at the back. You are going to the back. What we're trying to do is to embark on what you call economic diversification. The blue economy. Looking in the fishery investment, expanding agriculture, so we can add to what we are doing. But Mr. Speaker, there's something that really pisses me off sometimes. when I said I was sitting at the back. The former chairman of the SFPP, the then Minister of Finance, John Opolu Benjamin. In his, I just pick one or two. In his signing over speech to the celebrated victory and jubilance all over the place, to the then Ernest by Koroma administration, he worked Kaba's administration. They worked towards so many issues in stabilizing our economy. First, what they did, we had debt that we incurred over from 1950s to the 60s. You know, the APC ruled for over 20 years before we took governance. So when Pakaba came, before they left, they said we have unnecessary debt. Do you believe the commercial debt that was over $700 million, the commercial debt was wiped off. It was wiped off completely. The external debt, which was over $7 billion, something above over $6 billion was wiped out. And the others, we are left with giving some conditions so that we can wipe it up later using the Paris agreement that they went to. Mr. Speaker, our reserve was over 400. Our reserve was over 540 billion. Now we have about 200 million in our coffers as a foreign cash flow. They met that one. They met it in the coffers. When you want to say the economy is bad, you have to trace the roots. Because today, in paragraph 25 and 26, we said, the president said, last year in October, Mr. Can I get
Honorable Kelly, Honorable Alphaba. The Honorable Dr. Ufa Beshi, go back to your seat. Go back to your seat.
Can I continue, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Honorable Ben Masai.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, I listened to the trend when my colleagues were talking about the economy bastardizing us. Let me just take, that's why I took them to memory lane to give this analysis on record. You Google them, you see them. They handed over note of Opolu Benjamin, the former Minister of Finance, till 2007. The records are there, very clean, very straightforward. You don't need any economist to interpret to you. He gave an executive summary of what we left in our coffers. But Mr. Speaker, honorable members, paragraph 105 and 106. We started, I don't cover up things, just like President has taught us to do. They said in terms of domestic revenue mobilization, they said for the first half of, they said in 2023, they made their target. But the target we can determine when we come to the budget. We come to the budget very soon. You will examine if they really hit their target. But they said the first half of 2024 this year, they also said they make their target. We are not going to argue them with that. We never can argue them with that. Yeah, we accept it. But something that is very significant that we need to underscore. Inflation, as you have in America, this election that the Judge Donald Trump won, number first on the agenda was the economy. The economy. You see the figures coming down. Inflation is going down. But it's not reflective in the market. You go to the malls where you want to buy bread, it's $3. When you go to the polling station to vote, you see the people display. Foods are still up. Services are expensive. I like when you said at the time they read the budget, the presidential speech, that was then, but inflation is going down. But stricter sense to hand, honestly, it's still not reflective on the ordinary man and woman. That is what we are tracing. The street economy, the reflective aspect of it. But on paper, the theory of the economics is that it's going down on paper. But the aspect of it, to feel it, it has not come on play. That is what we are challenging now. So he said, on paper, Mr. President said, 55% in last October, not this October, the last one. as Letter corrected us, it's happening with other variables. When inflation is going down, it's just one single aspect of the variables. What are the other variables? Let me tell you, the fiscal strategy document introduced to this house in 2019, the lady here, they projected inflation to come to single digits when all things being constant. Today we are double digit. Double digit. It's in this document. So we went back. They said, but the inflation is coming down. As last June to 32%. Of course it's going down on figures. But the question we ask ourselves, in preparation of the budget, is it reflexive of what is happening on the ground? So when you misuse the economy, when you left out in deficit, when you receive a God gift, because that was a gift given to you, and you misuse that one, this is the area we find ourselves today. That's why we are the economic mess. Because our brothers on the other, and our brothers who are in the governance at that time did not take the economy seriously. Their fiscal discipline was so poor. No trust was not there. People refused to pay taxes. We are now taking measures. That is why we keep them out of governance. We keep them out of governance because they fail the people woefully. We are not going to throw their advices under the bus. We will accept them and we'll make changes, just as we did for the free and quality education. Mr. Speaker, they are talking about we accept it because the legacy left behind. So we are trying to clean the mess. Mr. Speaker, when I stood here, we compared. Please allow me to speak. You know, when you are speaking, we are with Decro. I compare our 5-year achievement to a 11-year achievement. I read it in this chamber. I took the document, what we achieved in 5 years as against 11 years. You are not able to challenge me on that. We are talking about infrastructure, the debt bridge leading to the home of the president. Every weekend is in McKinney. He was not able to fix it. President, a fearless and God-fearing person. He fixed that bridge, and you are not trying to praise him, criticize him. You did cosmetic. The most expensive project in this country is the BKC road, and even a sub-bridge. The most expensive project, the world infrastructure project, is the BKC road. But let me come back. Let me don't even be taken aback by you. Let me tell you about the budget 2019, why we are trying to come and clean this economic mess. In 2019 budget, because we are futuristic, if you look at the back book, you know how I used 2020? 2020, it was a difficult time. Because that was the help of the pandemic at the higher peak. So in 2020, the macroeconomic performance of our revenue performance, you know, when we measured it, we said two things. First, let us look back in 2019, in 2011 to 2018. Let me give you a statistic, you can be shocked. The level of poverty was increasing sharply. It was at 52.9%. And when we came down to 2018, it went to 59%, 57% rather. From 52.9% to 57% is on record. Check the budget year 2019. Mr. Speaker, the Human Development Index was so deplorable that we said, look, we cannot go like this. We instituted what we call the fiscal disciplines, fiscal policies, strict disciplines in terms of how do we do, what do we collect. So we brought in the civil treasury account so that we can be able to solve some of these problems. We made nothing. So we are able to roll out with our meager resources, the small resources, the ones that we collected, not even enough to pay salaries. As we said, with proper fiscal discipline, we can roll out the educational system, the free education we talk about in our manifesto. Mr. Speaker, these are the index. The indexes we follow throughout the 5 years of our first governance. We are so deplorable that it was very difficult for us to succeed as a government. So we put in place fiscal structure. Mr. Speaker, just read from paragraph 411, 112. You see the donor confidence report in us. That is under external mobilization. When we are talking about external mobilization, the confidence that donor reports in us is giving us some of these grants and loans that I showed you on the screen. So when we talk about the economy, let us go back and think twice. Why are we in this way? You know how they perform peacefully? That's why I'm looking at them talking about MCC. They are not talking about MCC. They fail MCC because they are so corrupt. Even white techs cannot clean the way they are corrupt. We pass MCC throughout.
May I remind the leader that he has 5 more minutes?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Cannot watch the level of corruption. You use Clorox to metal mess everything. They are so corrupt that they don't pass MCC. People who are patriotic, Mr. Speaker, people who are unpatriotic and uncivilized Jordanians, they went to the MCC office. They work against us not to get this MCC. But let me remind you, MCC started, go back to the record, from the then President Kabas government. Annabelle Romans escalated it to such levels. But he was paralyzed and frustrated by his level of corruption. We failed corruption throughout by MCC index. We did not fix a team to assess for corruption. It was the American, the MCC team that set on the level of corruption. We passed throughout, and you recognize that one. Mr. Speaker, in this one, the president did talk about honor human rights, honor the rubric of human rights, about fighting corruption. You look at paragraph 121 going down. We are not going to argue with that. Corruption is a disease in a nation. Can always fight back. I'm not going to question his barometer, where he got his data from. I will not question it. But what I will encourage Jordanians, corruption always fight back. Especially why we are poverty. We are poverty. It's at its peak. We are better. We are in 10th position. I will not question that data. We are better. We are 10th. When they are in governance, they are bottom to last. If you are not last, you are second to last. Check the records. So there is an improvement. Whether impacting negatively or positively, there is a shift upwards, not downwards. We don't fluctuate or oscillate. We move up because our trajectory is positive. Why you can record with us? Mr. Speaker, that is where they bastardize us in terms of education. If you think the free and quality education is not working, go to your locality. Tell your constituent, don't pay for the fees of your children, and we pay. Then you will see what percentage is going through. That is a practical example. But we cannot allow to use this platform. We are using things that are not facts. When the student pass, when the pupils pass in the primary school and JSS, in the Becker and WAS and the MPSC, they said they don't believe the result. SO2. Well, how bad that's true? For we will pick in themselves. When they passed, they said that result was something they need to look at. Let the student go and sit entrance exam. Mr. Speaker, but I trust this parliament. And this parliament, we said it's not going to take place. Thank you very much for the astute leadership issue. We said we're not going to accept it. They passed, they sat to the exam. In those days, when they are failed under the 10th administration of the APC government, our children failed woefully. They failed woefully. When we started the free and quality education, we projected that towards 2023, go back to the record. The now chief minister projected that result that they will see sharp increment in terms of external examination passes, Becker, MPSC and WAS. Check the records now. Is it not free and quality education we are enrolling? I'm happy they made sure that we have enrolled here. We're talking about having the ministers to come and respond to questions. We are transparent government. They never did that under their own administrations. They are so transparent and forthright. To accept the truth, let me use the words of their leader. You have to be sincere with yourself. Let us change the trajectory. Not all the time we have to talk about things that is not working. We try to perceive people about things that we have not done and show that we are the right people. Where were you 11 years down the line? Bastardizing the economy. Making our education way down the drain. Section 9, subsection 2 in the Constitution. They are unable to roll it. Let us respect President Bio for rolling out the constitutional provision that was signed by the APC administration. They did not respect it. They failed us in terms of education. And we are not dealing with it. They are telling us things that we don't want to hear. Mr. Speaker, I will go on and on. I will keep on going. Mr. Speaker, give me 3 minutes. I'm wrapping up. 3 minutes, sir. 3 minutes, sir. Thank you. God bless you. Mr. Speaker, today we are better off at the international platform. We are there. Security Council are there. We did not go about 50 years down the line. When they went to act as the president for Security Council, the records are very clear. They were there doing things that were not patriotic. They are involved in other things. When President Bio went in August, rolled out the significance of Africa composite of Security Council. All over the world, one knows they're talking about it. That is how a leader should behave. A leader with a visionary spirit. That is President Bio. Our leader, our person, with the audacity of Mr. Speaker, you look at President Bio, you can hate him, but you cannot kill him. You cannot love him, but God loves him most. That is the leader we have. I am in this business because I took oath to fight for the ordinary man and woman. We are here today because we believe on this other side that one country is one people. We are here today because our colleagues, they use a motto of side or why they defend the people. That's why we are here in governance. I will continue to be labor, Mr. Speaker, labor, and you expect.